Okay. Are we live? It does appear we are live. Why is that not working? Just a second. Uh, See if it works now. Sometimes you have to basically manually reset it. Okay, there we go. That's that bit working. Okay. So, what am I going to do today? What are we doing today? Well, it's not going to be a long one again. It's me slowly building back up to doing a proper one of these. Okay, so what are we doing? Why are we here? That is the question of the universe, isn't it? What we are doing is we are working on a plan today. We are working on an entry for a game jam, kind of. So we are running a game jam. We are running a game jam for that will end on the 30th, or was it the 31st of October? End of October. And general idea is something to do with Halloween. So we are going to write some horror-based stuff. Yeah, basically. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a chill one. It's not going to be very long. The fatigue is real. But yeah, basically. I just need to check a couple of things and then start. Sorry, I just have to sort some stuff out. Right. So, what are we doing? Right. So what we'll do is current thought is we want to do a D&D 5e adventure. Not 54. Current thoughts. So what we want to do is obviously horror themed. We want to tackle themes of remembrance, the past, other things. What else we want to do? My current thought is Um, it's so current thought is set pre-made setting, but we want to write it in a way that it can be used in other settings. Other things we want to do. Want to deal with kind of zombie apocalypse horror, themes of light versus dark, and it has to be both standalone and be playable in the horror module set we've been writing. Oh, pardon me. I'm already yawning. Right. Work today was very knackering. Very, very knackering. Okay, so let's deal with the first part, which is this is adventure 4 of 5. In the horror set. So, what we probably will do is we'll do an adventure hook for if you're playing in the horror set, and then an adventure hook if you're putting it into either standalone or using it in your own setting. So we want so my current thought is how we want this adventure to run is how do I want to phrase this? So the previous adventure I haven't actually finished writing, but because I'm already part way through, I can't do it for a game jam. The previous adventure was based heavily on kind of SCP Foundation, that kind of fiction. So they have, but the general plan there is that there's a problem that was in the first adventure. They have just received the answers they need to solve the problem. So adventure 4 is very much the journey back, with it being they've got to get they're travelling backwards the way they came, but now it kind of now where they're journeying through is going to be a bit more dangerous. And I guess the other plot hook would just be they're travelling through the woods, night is falling, and then they both can start from the same place. So the general idea is kind of because it's very easy to adapt this bit. You just can't go. The mist is being the powerful force instead of something else. Because in the setting that it's set in, the woods there are filled with a mist where, unless you're gifted with certain magics in a bloodline, you find it very difficult to navigate the fog effectively. It kind of distorts space, and you might think you're travelling the correct route, but you're not. It's kind of that very classic fairy. The woods are mysterious and it's very easy to lose your way. So that's kind of the basics. It is like there's this mist, it kind of obscures things, it changes the setting. What we will want to do with this is, for the setting agnostic, maybe pull on that and kind of go, they're travelling through the woods are normal, but as soon as the mist comes in, that's when things start to change, that's when things get different. Whereas for the other one, it's just, you are travelling through the woods, the mist is always there, it is night. And then from that point, they are playing the same adventure. Because really, the story is self-contained. Adventures 2 and 4 of this adventure set are kind of very self-contained. You are travelling from point A to point B and something happens in the journey. It's 1, 3 and 5, which are kind of very... The narrative is very focused and there's a through line. I could try and make Adventures 2 and 4 a bit more tied, but I don't want to do that too much because otherwise you lose the agnosticness of it. Yeah. So I'm just trying to think. So that's kind of how I'm thinking of doing the adventure hooks. Light vs. Dark is very easy. I'm planning it to largely be set at night. The entire adventure takes place at night. And when the moonlight hits, I'm not really sure which way around we want to do this. My current thought was when the moonlight hits, you see this massive undead, but as soon as like a cloud or anything obscures the moon, immediately it kind of it's like I imagine it's a bit like Weeping Angels, where when you blink they get to move, when you open your eyes they're frozen. In this instance, it's while the light of the moon is touching, like you'll see these undead coming towards you, but when like darkness covers them, they might resemble trees or bushes or just parts of the landscape. And then, so the main question I have is, how do I want to bring remembrance into this? How are we going to bring the past into this adventure? That's the only bit that I'm kind of stuck on. Kind of we really want to think about before we start writing is how are we going to bring remembrance into it? Because all the other bullet points we kind of got answered. Remembrance and the past. Perhaps thinking. Let's have a look. I'm gonna look up. Let's see, Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. Slow on loading today. Ah, well, there we go. Come on, you blasted thing. Well, that's probably partially why. Why has everything decided it needs to update? Well, wait for technical difficulties to pass. I'll wait for the things they're trying to update to finish updating, and then perhaps it will let me access D&D Beyond. But yeah, the main reason I want to check that is just in case it has any, because it has an amount of writing advice in it. I'm mainly just interested if it has any advice. It could be useful. So, I guess the more I think about it, the more I'm sat there going, I wonder if so. I don't really know that this is the one that's vampires. Bloodspur is Bocker, Desire and Deceit. What's this one? King's Tier. Interesting. From land and converted. Interesting. So that's more dealing with. It's the one that's very much ancient Egypt. Yeah. This is the problem. You're kind of sat there going, doomed by magic. Do. Snug stitched flesh. Really, I should read through these all at some point. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Which one was it that had? And what's this? Summons over weeks. That's brave. Wilds contend starving predators. Interested. Travelers, horror adventures. Might want to read that. Genres of horror. Hmm. Um, to a degree, if you wanted to resolve the past, you're kind of dealing into occult, detective. So, current thought. The more I'm sat here, because I just had an idea. I had a couple of ideas looking at this. Why don't we use the slasher horror? Why don't we use this, that, the other? And then I just sat there and just realised I'm just writing Silent Hill. I'm just making Silent Hill. Which, isn't it isn't terrible to be able to sit there and go, I want to write something. What am I writing? Oh, I just accidentally just came up with Silent fucking Hill. So, thought process. Let's I'll talk to you, and then hopefully in talking to you, I'll have an idea of what to put into writing. So, uh, my current thought is we have this zombie apocalypse. So there, you start in the woods. It's night. Moonlight begins to come down. There's something wrong with the moon. The light of the moon isn't quite right. And when the moon touches the trees, these gnarled, twisted branches begin to turn into arms and hands and torsos and heads. as basically zombies happen, and so the players are constantly battling with the light. And eventually they'll come across a village, and it'll be entirely abandoned. And at this point, we're getting into the detective combined with folk horror elements. And basically, there's something happened to the village. There's something about the village's past that has cursed the area. And so the players. Yeah, I'm like where this going. And part of the curse of this area may start to pull upon the characters' backstories, their fears. So perhaps during, in kind of the preparation for the session, the DM should be checking with the players, what are your characters' fears? What elements of their past do they kind of struggle and deal with? And so they'll be as they're exploring and trying to learn the mysteries, they'll be encountering their past, they'll be coming face to face with it. And in the background is, because it's a cool set of monsters, it's kind of the slasher monsters from Van Richten's. We'll probably make our own version, but kind of it's just this thing, and it's the reason it's the village is abandoned is they've all been killed. And we can play into the adventure set, because this could be an adventure where we start to play with dream magic. Yeah. I like the sound of that. No, I like that. Like, yes, I have accidentally come up with D&D Silent Hill, but at the same time, I like it. What I'll also do is I'll also open up the plan for, because really the two play into each other, so really I need to work on this one at the same time. This one's in a bit further development. This is the Seal of Owls. This one is SCP Foundation, the adventure. The main reason I need to think about it though is I need to think about how it ends in order to pull. Okay, got ideas. So yeah, so here's my current thought of the tool set I'm going to give the DM of this adventure. So what we want to break this down into is we want pre-game prep, adventure hooks, So my current thought is kind of how do I want to phrase this? So kind of in the pre-game, a dungeon master is going to go, okay, what are your give me your characters, very strict here, characters' fears, not player fears, and what are their backstories? What try and start getting material to pull from, which then is very good because if you're taking this adventure and trying to place it in a campaign, you can start to go, okay, we're running this campaign. I want to give the players a chance to deal with stuff in their backstory in a more abstract setting. Mainly because maybe the campaign's going in a direction where we can't deal with X characters thing, so let's try and have them face it in a different way. Or maybe something has happened earlier in the campaign and you're kind of pulling back on those memories of that event. And then, so for adventure hooks, you've got one where it's in the setting, it's in the adventure series. Basically, you've got the answer, you've got to get from point A to point B. Or the other is a mist suddenly descends upon you in the woods. You're getting lost, you don't know where you're going, and you end up in this situation. And we'll probably describe the trees as starting to seem like the trees are leaning more towards you. It's more like it's almost like they're reaching out for you with the branches, and it's just going to get a bit eerie. The moon, sun, the clouds part, the light of the moon in a slightly sickly colour is coming down, and as the light hits the branches of the trees, they turn from branches into hands, to arms, to torsos, to heads, and suddenly you see the undead coming towards you, and then it's up to the players to deal with that. And as they start running, it's kind of like, yeah, it's a zombie survival basically. They're having to kind of get away from all these zombies and using cloud, and like the clouds will come back over the moon. All the zombies are basically frozen in place, and then the players get a chance to kind of adjust. Effectively, the players are all having to watch the clouds move, but of course, as the clouds cover one area of the ground, they might not cover another, at which point the moonlight will come through and a different pack of zombies may appear. But they have to remember the pack they just left, because as soon as the cloud moves, they'll be back again. And then they arrive at a village, but of course the zombies are still coming. And my thought is kind of, it's like effectively they have to hole up in one building, survive zombies trying to break in, and effectively, probably with the advice that the clouds will come, effectively the zombies will stop attacking, giving the players enough time to investigate. And maybe if they take too long investigating, you can go, okay, clouds moved out of the way, zombies attack again, and effectively giving them a chance to move between buildings in the village in time with when the clouds cover up, and effectively they get a safe path. And part way through, maybe restart a timer, go back to an old bit of mine which I love, which is effectively you set timers that the players don't know about, and effectively you have this timer that starts ticking and ticking and ticking, and at certain points of the timer of the clock, they'll start to be dealing with their own problems as they try to unravel the clues. And at other points of the clock, the slasher, the stalker character will activate, they'll awaken, they'll start appearing, but they'll have a period where they're just, it's kind of, you're getting clues that they're there, that they're operating, and the timer will hit another point where they become a hunting target. And yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, I like the sounds of this. Um, See, now by dealing with the player's problems, effectively you have answered the how to incorporate remembrance in the past. But I think that the question kind of comes with how do you want to incorporate it? Just write these down so I don't forget it. Intentional reawaken zombies. So, okay. I like where we're going. I like where we're going. Um, I also like the fact that effectively we have mechanism to kind of give them an impetus to keep moving, to keep looking, to keep finding. Um, I really like actually the genres of horror. It's got my mind going because kind of I'm like we want to bring in some psychological horror. We want to bring some slasher horror. Basically I've done all of the other horrors. We've got disaster, occult, psychology, slasher. We've got folk horror. Very strictly, we do not have the others because the others are in the other adventures. But I like this. I like the kind of. To be fair, all the adventures so far, with the exception of Adventure 2, have had detective-y bits. You've got to try and work out what happened. Uh, hmm. I am slightly aware that I'm effectively, to a degree, kind of writing just. I'm writing a combination of Silent Hill meets a H.P. Lovecraft novel. Which is an interesting way for this adventure to go, but I like it, I like it. Interesting. Interesting. Let's have a look. Don't think we need any survivors. Where's the horror monsters? There we go. Because I just want to see what monsters were in here. What was the bone master? Ah, yes, that one. Ba 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 ba. Gallows speaker. Oh yes, it goes. Mishka. Which one's Necrocore? That was it. Relentless killers. zombies. There we go. So, okay, zombies. Swarm limbs. Don't think we want a zombie clot. That's a bit much. What do I really think we want a zombie plague? I mean, we could do a zombie clot. Just a mass of zombies moving together. Perhaps some of the older zombies form a couple of clots. Was it 100 hit points? Version 2. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure about the zombie clot. I think we still want to do something more than just zombies, but yeah. Didn't I say that? How long have we been doing this? How long have I been sat here trying to work out what the hell am I doing? How long have I been streaming? Probably for nearly an hour. Bloody hell. Okay, I have a plan. So what we are going to do is, I think we'll call it there for the day. What I'm going to do now is take this plan, and I'm probably not going to start work immediately. I'm going to think about it a bit and see if we can come up with where do we want to go from here. Right. Who is... The real question is, who is live right now? Let's have a look. Let's see who is... let's go raid Destal, who is currently, it looks like, doing some Shadowbringers, which is cool. That's what we normally do on a Saturday. Right. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you everyone for joining. I'm thinking Thursday we're going to try and do a stream of some sort. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but we're going to do something. So yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining, and we will see you all